Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Finally time for an Evo update. Okay, so first of all, I did end up having to install a new alternator. I went with the JR Advanced alternator. I think this is 150. I believe they also have 180. It is stock looking, it bolts right up. No bubbles, no problems with that. You know, it works really good. The alternator that was there was like an aftermarket alternator, and it was literally falling apart. All right, so another thing that happened with the engine was I ended up finding my main oil leak, which was a front main seal. Okay, and if you guys don't know, in the 4G motor, the front main seal is incorporated into the oil pump. Okay, so I could have just replaced the front main seal, but since this is a used motor, it had like a big turbo setup when I got it, so I figured it was revved a lot, and these pumps can cavitate when you rev them a lot. So I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna do it, might as well just do it right. And also, when I replaced the alternator, one of the bolts goes through, there's like a paper gasket in between the oil pump and the actual block, and that bolt went through that gasket, and the bolt was like covered in oil. So I figured, maybe the gasket is old and dried up. And then also I wanted to redo the timing belt again, since if you guys go back quite a few videos, I'll put it up here, I had a pretty big oil leak, exhaust leak from the O2 housing that ended up melting that housing, the plastic thing down there, the plastic cover. So I was afraid that maybe the timing belt had gotten damaged or weakened or something like that, and I definitely don't want the timing belt to snap. So I ended up dropping the pan, doing all new gaskets, new oil pump, new bearings, new pulleys, new belt, all that kind of stuff all over again. And that did take care of that leak, but unfortunately now I have an oil pan leak, so I get to redo the oil pan again. Okay, now back here, I ended up getting this Cusco carbon fiber strut tower brace. I don't think that the strut tower brace in the rear does a whole lot on these cars, but I figured that sometimes I'll use this as a regular car, and I didn't want things to kind of ding into that. And it just looks kind of cool, and I already had these covers. I know these are highly sought after, so I already had them cut up from the gray car. Okay, so the day that the car got crashed, I had removed all this stuff from that car, so I already had these pre-cut. This car only came with one, so I do have one of these in mint condition. So I'll be on the lookout for the other one. But anyways, yeah, so I think this looks pretty cool. I've always liked the carbon fiber kind of look. This is like a hollow tube, so yeah, I don't really think it does a whole lot, but it sure does look cool in there. And it gives me access to my little adjustment knobs. It's not the cleanest thing, but hey, looks cool though. All right, boys, there you have it. Let me know what you think. So I think just like the gold wheels on the Corvette, these are probably going to be polarizing, but I really like how they pop, man. These really pop. So I really had told myself that I was not going to do another set of TEs. I think TEs, to be honest with you, are pretty played out. But I had also told myself that if I would do TEs, it would have to be another set of TE RT37s. So I had these wheels in the Evo 10, in my OG Evo 10, but it was more like a drag setup, okay, when these first came out. I think this was like back in, I don't know, 2015, 2014, something like that. And I really didn't, you know, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, I didn't really like them because I had a set of stop techs. We'll cover the stop techs here in a bit, but I also had a set of stop techs on that car that were yellow, so it was kind of clashy. So they didn't last too long, but I don't know, man. I came across these. I was talking to another friend of mine, and we were discussing like a set of red wheels. I was considering getting a set of Advan RG somethings, okay, in red, just because I think that the black just needs something to pop. I really like the silver. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the Enkeis, but man, those wheels just were such a pain in the ass to clean. There were just so many freaking spokes. I just wanted something with less spokes. So yeah, so I had told myself, you know what, I don't want to do TEs. TEs are played out, but if I went to do a set of TEs, it will have to be, first of all, the proper fitment, which these are. I'll cover that in a second. But proper fitment, and they would have to be RTs. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I really like these. This is when they first started doing like this type of machining. Okay, this machining, and then the engraving on here. These are like the SLs where the regular caps don't really fit. Okay, so on here I have the Drive Shaft Shop axles. So I don't know that I'm gonna. I may paint those eventually. I just wanted to see if they were gonna rust. And in the back, I did end up painting that with some epoxy paint. Okay, but yeah, so kind of got off my train of thought. Yeah, so they started doing like this machining. I really liked like this ring lip, and this is not like a bright red. It's more like a burnt red. If you stand back, it looks kind of, I don't want to say purple, but you know, kind of like burgundy-ish. You know what I mean? Kind of going towards that darker red. But really, up close is a really nice poppy kind of red. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really think that it makes the car really stand out. You know what I mean? Like this is my project car. This is my kind of cool. Let's talk about it kind of car. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted something that popped. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I know that the red is definitely not for everybody, but man, I really like how it looks. Obviously, it's not slammed, okay, because I do track it, but you know, it's at a pretty good height. I don't think it's like monster truckish either. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about fitment. So yeah, that was the other thing that was really important for me. So these are actually 18 by 10s. Okay, so these are 18 by 10 plus 29. Okay, so to fit an 18 by 10 in this car in the stock body is you need the right offsets. Okay, and as you can see, yeah, there's some poke there, but they do fit. So far, I have gotten no rubbing. Okay, I may have to add a little bit of extra camber here in the rear. We'll see. Okay, but so far it hasn't rubbed. Now, right now I'm running the Nankang CRS V2s. Okay, and these are 255, 35, 18. So they are a bit pinched on here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a good amount of lip here. The reason is because I had already bought these tires for another set of wheels that I have bought that I didn't like. I have bought these 18 by 9.5 plus 22 Graham Lights CR57s or something like that. And when I bought them online, they were a gray color. Okay, they were like, yeah, like a gunmetal gray, kind of like the calipers. But when I received them, the color is AZZ. But when I received them, they were black. Like you put them in the car and they're black. And I'm like, what the heck? So I contacted the seller and I'm like, hey man, you sent me the wrong wheels. These are the wrong color. And I went to take a picture of them, and in the pictures they look gray. But I'm telling you, man, in person, in real life, they look black. So I wasn't really happy with them. Luckily, the guy who was actually selling this ended up trading me those plus some cash, and I ended up getting these. He had these on an S2000. So yeah, man, I'm you know, even though I said I wasn't gonna do Volks on these, I ended up doing Volks in this car, and I am really happy about it. I got some compliments. I got some what the hell, but honestly, I don't care. You know, as long as you like your car, you know what I mean. Like that's what's important, and I really like it. I love the black and the red. Now I think that the only thing that I don't like about the exterior, it's not that I don't like it, but I don't think it goes, is the headlights. You know, they're a little too chromy. So eventually, I don't know that I want to spend that kind of money, but eventually I may do a set of JDMs for the front, and I think that would complete the look of the car. Maybe a little orange indicator there. All right, so now let's talk about the brakes. So yeah, man, I ended up doing StopTech trophies. These are trophies, okay, front and rear all around. Okay, I picked these up from my boy Ben. Great grip. Go give him a follow. He's probably building the most badass Time Attack Evo in America. So now you may be asking yourself, well, how come these are gray? You know, how come these don't have like the anodizing from StopTech? And the reason is because our boy Ben got drunk. I think he got high, to be honest with you. But he said he got drunk and that he thought he needed more clearance on one of the wheels, and ended up taking a flapper wheel or like a sanding disc to this one caliper. Okay, so this is what it looked like when I first got it. Now I figured that, you know what, it's just one caliper. I'll just buy a caliper, okay, and just replace that, and then that way I have, you know, he gave me a pretty good deal. I got all the rotors, I got extra rotors, he sent me pads, you know what I mean? So it was a pretty good deal. It was worth it. I figured, you know what, I buy a caliper, I'm good, you know? But guess what, guys? StopTech is really no more. You know, you can't really buy this stuff unless somebody has it on the shelf. StopTech is not manufacturing any like calipers and stuff like that. They got bought out, you know, and they just haven't figured it out, man. I don't know if they're ever gonna come back to full manufacturing. There's a big long story about it, but anyways, for now, you really can't get these unless you buy like I said, like a kit that somebody has in stock. Okay, definitely can't find. I wasn't able to source a single caliper, so you know, I kind of went around. I was trying to get this refinished to match the other calipers with that anodizing. There was all kinds of issues. Nobody would guarantee it. They would tell me that, you know, the bore size would change, so maybe the calipers, the pistons, I mean, wouldn't fit. So there was all these issues. So eventually I decided, you know what? Well, screw it. I'm just gonna powder coat them to look like the hard anodizing, and I think they came out great, man. So I really like how these are like shadowed, okay, in the background, and it looks really clean. Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, I think that if I didn't tell anybody, if I didn't tell you guys about this one caliper, nobody would probably know. Like, you really have to take a look at it really close to even notice, okay? I think it came out really good. I did end up also re-anodizing the hats, okay? Can't get these hats. The hats were a little messed up. I think they were using like, you know, harsh wheel acids to clean them. And then the seals inside the calipers, I also ended up replacing them with the racing brake high temp seals. Even though this is a racing brake setup, it still has dust boots like a street caliper. You know, that's the thing about like StopTech. You buy a motorsports caliper, but it's not really a motorsports caliper. Motorsports calipers like the APs that I have on the Corvette, they don't have dust seals, guys. They don't have dust boots, you know. And that's because they burn up, you know what I mean? So, but anyways, they were all messed up. Not all messed up, but some of them were messed up. So it was pretty affordable to upgrade to the racing brake, you know, dust seals, okay? And for the street, I did get a set of street pads, which is, you know, a great improvement in comfort, NVH reduction. I am using the Hawk HPS 5.0. So far, I mean, I've driven, you know, I don't know, 30 miles on these, and there's very little dust to a little bit down there, but you know, there was also some rain. But so far, I didn't really clean these again, you know, so I think that was a great improvement. And I am going to use the Hawk DTCs. I'm going to try 60s front and rear this time, okay? I haven't tried front and rear 60s. I think this car, since is quite a bit lighter than the Corvette, I don't think I need so much bite, so I'm going to try 60s front and rear. Hopefully, you know, that keeps the consumables, the consumable wear rate down. But yeah, man, I love the new look of the car, man, and the stopping power. I mean, the pedal feel is amazing. Like the stock calipers, even with the stock, with the Evo 10 calipers, the pedal was just always I don't want to say mushy, but it wasn't solid, man. Now the pedal is solid. You will have to drive it to really know the difference, but trust me, it was definitely a welcome upgrade. All right, so now the last thing that happened with the car is we ended up upgrading the rear diff. It's gonna be hard to see, as usual. But yeah, we have now a TRE fully built rear diff. So what ended up happening, I didn't end up actually buying it. So what happened was I ended up trading the Enkis, the silver Enki, the NTO 3 Plus M's. Yeah. With tires for the rear diff. It was a straight swap. The guy was selling it. I was gonna sell my wheels. We talked, you know, we met. So anyways, it ended up working out. So now the car has a full TRE drivetrain. So I got rear diff, transfer case, and transmission, TRE all built. I was wanting to send my diff to TRE, but I did not want to see that bill. So, you know, this ended up working out just perfectly for me. All right, guys, so with this update, we're nearing the end of the restoration or build project on the Evo. There is still a couple other things that I want to do, minor things. I think I want to get a gurney flap, okay, for the wing. This wing still has like the shadow of where the gurney flap used to be, okay? So, and this is an MR, I did have the gurney flap, so I do want to get a gurney flap, okay? I think I want to get a high flow cat for the street. I am running this car on pump gas a lot, and it is kind of smelly. My kids have complained a little bit, so you know I do want to get a high flow cat, and I could just swap it out when I'm gonna go to the track and stuff like that. And then on the interior side, I think that eventually I would like to get this seat. I would like to get the red stitching to kind of match the rest of the interior. I think that would be really good. And right now I kind of have a homemade lumbar thing. Maybe at the same time I can have them make that more of a permanent so it's not kind of flopping around. And then last is I really want to change this. I already have the dash piece for the double din. I want to do a double din. So I want to put the radio, you know, here with the double din, backup camera and all that kind of stuff. And then put this down here like everybody does, okay? And I have the JDM piece, I think it's from the RS. I don't know, the one that matches the dash. I think that looks the cleanest. So besides that, man, I gotta reseal this oil pan again. But yeah, man, other than that, I'm really happy where the Evo is at, you know? It has the right amount of power, call it 400 on pump or maybe 390 on pump. You know, around 420, 430 on E85. It has good suspension, you know, for the street, and that works on the track. It's not super stiff, you know, it's not as stiff as I would like it for the track, but it still works, and it's honestly is fine for the street, okay? It has a badass set of wheels, has a badass set of brakes, okay? That could be dual purpose. It's not too loud. The interior is really clean. The paint, you know, looks great. You know, it's a car that honestly at this point, I'm very happy with the outcome of this car. Seeing it from it being just abandoned, you know what I mean, to the point where it's now, it makes me super happy. All right, guys, so things are getting pretty loud over here in the neighborhood. A lot of birds and a lot of people starting to do landscaping, stuff like that. I'm not sure where this video is gonna fall in the sequence of videos, so I'm not gonna try to predict which video goes after this. But hopefully the next time we see the Evo, man, we'll be going to the track. I really wanna try these brakes out and new tires at the track. I just gotta get that leak taken care of real quick, and we should be good to go. So yeah, it'll be Homestead or Sebring, one of the two. And yeah, man, really looking forward to it. Hopefully I see you guys then. Catch you in the next one. Peace.